May I have your attention, please?
You have my attention.
We can now use web sources, both HTML code and web links, in our Evmux live shows. This is an Evmux update alert. Web sources, otherwise referred to as widgets for streaming, is a mini app that displays a small amount of information on screen at all times, and it interacts with the viewer. Goal counters, live comments, and monetization numbers are typical examples. The widget may be waiting for input from the viewer, such as a chat poll, or be live and actively display changes like viewer/subscriber count, super chats, or even a giveaway tool. Evmux just added this functionality to their browser-based streaming studio. Mind blown, y'all. Kirk Nugent here for Evmux, your live streaming sweet spot. And in this video, let's take a look at the Evmux web source feature and 3 specific examples. So here we are in the Evmux studio. I've already got it open and I'm sitting on a dynamic scene, but I want to make sure you know that dynamic scenes is not where the feature is. So we will have to go to the pro scenes, and it's going to make sense why you would want that. It's in a layer. You want to want it like that for your web sources, aka streaming widgets. And even as we're here on this new pro scene, I just have one layer, which is my camera, and it is working. Everything is kind of full screen. We're going to keep that there, and we're going to build on top of it some of the example widgets that we're going to showcase in this video. Also want to make sure you are aware of some of the places that you can get widgets from. Here is Streamlabs.com, and we will use a couple from here, and they've got a ton of widgets. I mean, you can just see them all here as I'm scrolling through. There is a number of widgets. Some of them are really cool, just depending on what your needs might be and how you want to engage your audience. Another one, which is Streamdps, also some really cool stream alerts and premium widgets that you can use for your live shows in Evmux now that they've added this feature. And I know that Elad showcased some Streamdps widgets in the town hall some few days ago. Also, support pages like Patreon, Fanfics, and buymeacoffee.com also have widgets. And here on the support page for buymeacoffee.com, I'm going to actually showcase this as our first widget we're going to add to the studio. If you have this platform, you would simply go to where it says buttons and graphics. When you're signed in the back end, you would go under settings where it says buttons and graphics. You click on that, and then we'd come here to where it says stream alerts, and we click on the customize button, and here you can see what that's going to look like. You can actually change your color and several other things, of course, to make sure you're on brand, but it's going to show you basically what it's going to look like on screen. This is essentially what it's going to look like on screen, and all you've got to do, browser source URL, add this URL as a browser source in your streaming software. Now, we can copy that URL right here. Of course, we've blurred that out because we don't want you to have the people on your stream supporting me, but we've blurred out that link. But you would just simply copy that URL, come back over to your studio. All right, I'm going to walk this through a couple of times in this video, but the idea is you're going to want to add new layer. So I've clicked that. And right here at the bottom of media, you're going to see that it says web source. Right here it says web source beta. So we're clicking web source, and we can click on the wheel that comes up on screen right here for web source settings. I'm going to click on that, and you have the option for using a link or an HTML code. We're going to try that out in a second. I'm going to highlight this link and remove the demo one and paste in the link from buymeacoffee.com. And you can see that's already taken up the whole, it's displaying on the screen right there. So that's pretty good. Things that you want to make sure you do, and if you've watched any of the tutorials, you already know that I'm going to size it the way that I want it. I'm going to lock it when I have it right, and I'm going to rename it so that I have it in a place that I can work with it later. BMAC, buy me a coffee. So boom, one layer is done. And the way that we would be able to test that, if you saw it on that screen, there was a test button. I'm going to pull that up so we can see both together. And you can see there's a send test button. Again, we're blurring out the link, but there's a send test button here on the page. So I'm going to simply click on that to be able to send a test. And you can see right here at the top of the screen that it says someone bought you a coffee. Great work. And that is an animation that comes up, and it can happen in the middle of your show, and it just kind of animates away. And it's completely seamless to you as the host, as the person who's streaming. You don't have to worry about configuring. You could see I added that in literally just a second. If somebody buys me a couple of coffees on BMAC, or if they purchase a consult session, even buy a ticket to my masterclass, those notifications will come up in the stream while I'm live. And it, guess what that does? It encourages others to go and do the same. Like, whoa, I'm getting value here too. I want to buy Kirk a coffee. So, and that could be you. This is why this is such a critical feature. Also, an opportunity we have is to do an HTML embed, right? And I'm gonna go to calendly.com and copy the embed code from there, and we're gonna add that in as HTML code. Now, you can add in HTML code from pretty much anywhere, but I'm going to use from calendly.com because it shows my booking page. And this is something that I every now and again like to do when I'm live. Now notice I did come in this time and select HTML code as opposed to use link. I selected HTML code, I hit paste. That's the content that I copied from my booking page, and people can grab a 15-minute call from my booking page, or they can grab a discovery call, which is exactly what I want. Another thing that you want to be mindful of is your sizing. So I don't really want all that white space. So I'm actually going to crop that in a little bit. So 1080, and we're pretty much done. So I'm going to move this around a little bit, get it to the size that I want, and have it here to the side. I'm gonna pull that down just a little bit there because we want to add some other things in, and I'm going to lock it. That's where I want it. So let's lock it. Let's go back through and rename it booking page. All right. So, or booking, either way. So now we have that added. We have our Buy Me a Coffee page there at the bottom. We have my booking page on the top, and I can even go through and hide these just in, just a refresher for those that are not remembering what pro scenes are about. Midstream, I can literally come in and just say, hey, go to my booking page. And there it is. It just showed up. So somebody can see what that visual example looks like while they are in my live show. Another thing that I like about widgets is a platform called socialstream.ninja. Which is what allows you to be able to pull in comments from live shows. So I'm going to pull up a live show here. This is a lady who's live right now, and I'm actually going to pull in her comments into socialstream.ninja because that's what it does. So let's go back over to our studio, and I'm going to copy that link from that widget into the live show. Well, let's get it open. From this page, I'm simply going to copy the link that will allow me to have these comments. I'm going to click Add New Layer, Web Source again, Web Source Settings, using the link this time. We're going to get rid of that one, paste in this other one. I've used this before, so I know that I want it to be 1000 by 300. Because that's the best size I've found for these comments to display on screen. Now, once I have that, I'm going to call this, let's rename it to social comments. Boom. And we can move that onto the screen, probably right around this section here, so that it's going to be right above that Buy Me a Coffee link. And we can simply go ahead and lock that. And boom, we locked it. And now you can see these comments are on the side from that live show that we showcased, and I can click on a comment and boom, there it is. It shows up on there. And if I click that comment again, it goes away. What's really cool about the socialstream.ninja comments is that it can pull from your comment section, whether it's YouTube, whether it is Amazon, whether it is even Zoom or Teams. It pulls those comments and allows you to display them on screen as a web source, as a widget. And it will do it automatically. So you could actually have it go through and just cycle through your comments automatically. And you can see how cool that shows up and how that looks for your web show here in Evmux. I use Evmux to stream to Amazon. So this is another really cool way that I can bring those comments in and not have to worry about doing all kinds of gymnastics to make that happen. So that's another really cool one that we wanted to showcase to you. Another thing that we want to showcase here, we talked about Streamlabs and some of their widgets, some really cool ones that they've got. We want to add in their giveaway widget. So this is one called the spin wheel, and you can change all the different pieces here in terms of what are the giveaways or what are the items that you're actually going to give to your audience. But you'll notice similarly as we did before that you have the copy button here. Click to copy widget URL. So we're going to click on that. And it says here, please read the following before copying the URL. Please do not share this with anyone and do not expose to the public. Specifically, do not paste this in your stream description. Protect yourself. I want to make sure that I read that as well, because I want to make sure you guys get a chance to see that, they want to make sure you're being responsible and we want to be responsible too. And so here we're going to go back, click add new layer again. We've done this multiple times now, web source. We're going to go to the web source setting. And again, I would say most of your web sources are going to be links. They're going to be links. But I did want to make sure you guys got a chance to see what this looks like. All right. So here you can see that widget has come up and you can actually see a wheel on the screen, right? That's pretty cool. And we can kind of, again, make this the size that we want, maybe 1080. We'll do better, and we can kind of match that, put that off to the side a little bit, maybe make it a little smaller so it doesn't actually cover my head. But yeah, we have that there and it's good to go. We can, of course, lock this where we want it to be. We want to go through and rename it again. And maybe we call this one giveaway, right? Giveaway wheel. All right. So, and again, it's just something descriptive that we can know what we need to do to come back to it. And again, I'm going to double click here, go over to this page. I wanted you to see both on screen at the same time. And you can see right here on this page, it says spin wheel. And when I click that to spin the wheel, you can hear that sound, but you can also see the wheel spinning. And even though I haven't set this up properly, you can change the colors on the page with Streamlabs. You can actually see here that it says the person won a mouse pad. And of course, I could give that away during my stream. And you could see the flexibility. You can see some of the functionality. You can see some of the things that are possible simply by using these web sources. I'm going to go to another scene that I've already built out that has some items in there. You can see there's a goal counter across the bottom. You can see that that buy me a coffee overlay is there. We've got the wheel on this one as well. But in addition to the wheel, we've added another one called tic-tac-toe, where people in the chat can actually play with you as the host by simply putting different things in the chat. Now, you do have to connect these widgets to your YouTube account or your Facebook account, depending on what Streamlabs or StreamDPS says, in order to get that rich functionality to come back into your live stream. But that's a simple step that you can do, and you can have somebody else manage the spinning of the wheel and different things like that, because it's all happening on the web. Several different levels of functionality, different things that you can dream of that you can do with this web sources feature from Evmux. Let's be clear. I've only scratched the surface with these examples. Web sources or streaming widgets open us up to a world of possibilities for engagement, audience retention, and analytics. It's a proven fact that shows that utilize these viewer-generated items in their streams experience rapid growth. Let's drop a thanks emoji in the comments to the awesome team at Evmux for continually rolling out much-needed functions and features. Thank you. Learn more about streaming with Evmux from these videos.